In this section, we'll take a look at the Creational Patterns catalog from the Gang of Four book. The Gang of Four book has 3 sections, and one of them is dedicated entirely to the creation of objects. They describe 5 different patterns that help insulate the clients from the complexity of creating objects. Java provides mechanisms to help with creation of objects. So some of these patterns may not be as useful or as common as they used to be. However, it really helps to know the Gang of Four pattern, and it's still valuable. And often you will see the vocabulary of the Gang of Four being used in various sections of Java frameworks, such as Spring. The 5 patterns that the Gang of Four identified was the abstract factory, which is a way of insulating the client from some external factor that determines what family of classes to use. External factors can be which operating system are you using, perhaps some context, is it day or night? You might want to create different objects based on some external factor that the clients are not supposed to know about. This may still be practical for some special applications and frameworks. There is also a pattern called Builder, and this is a programming idea that is often used in Java framework, and we're going to take a look at that in more detail. The first one we're going to actually look at is the one that's called factory method, which is a very common way of creating a factory for creation of objects. We also have a pattern called prototype. It's a pattern that allows for creation of objects based on cloning. And it's very practical in applications where you want the runtime user to configure how to create some objects. And finally, we have singleton. This is a pattern which seems to be the most known of the patterns. This pattern is used because there are some objects in our domain, there should be only one, and it really should be present from the very beginning of a program, sort of where the main starts. And the singleton pattern is suggesting a way for us to manage that. So what is the problem about creation of objects? Well, there are several, but the more common one is the fact that we can't have a polymorphic constructor. We often rely on polymorphism to shield the clients from an implementation hierarchy, so that they can have a handle to something abstract like a shape, and when they call a method on that shape, say draw, the correct implementation is picked by the runtime environment based on what kind of shape they're having a handle to. However, this doesn't work when creating objects. Whenever we're creating objects, say from an input stream, we can't just call shape.create, because to take advantage of polymorphism, an object must exist. Now, there are some languages that have polymorphic constructor or have features that makes it easy to do this, like Smalltalk or Objective-C, for instance. However, in Java, we can't do this without some trickery.